Wow, it's bright and sunny. I can barely see into my phone. And it's about the 15th or so of May. And I've been eating a bunch of strawberries, which I love. Look forward to every year. Anyway, oh, there we go. Oh, not quite ready. I'm digging a hole here in my raised bed of strawberries, and I just want you to see something that I do as a common practice when I want to transplant cuttings that I started in ground, and when I want to remove them a little late in the season, and where the intensification of the sun, because we are nearing the solstice, believe it or not, we're not that far away, June 21. The intensification of the sun will just damage the transplants if you have to disturb the roots. So I thought you might want to see a procedure that I use often. A little trick, a little technique, a little method. And I'm going to be adding some of these ingredients, which I discussed in some of my other videos. And a lot of calcium, crushed oyster shells, and this is volcanic material. You can see what's in it. But anyway, little magnesium and a little bit of organic fertilizer that I like to use, and biotone starter, organic. I like using organic, and when I'm running short, I'll use a little bit of that too. That's a 3-month fertilizer, an all-purpose, and you just put in a topical application. Really, you put a little bit under if you want. But I've dug this hole out, and I'm going to move a tree that I started from cuttings, several of them, a Celeste. And I'll talk to you about that in a second. But the reason why I am doing this in this raised bed, because sometimes this ground can be a little soggy. I have my blueberries there, only when it rains really hard. And that's not ideal for fig trees, because when the harvest comes, you want the ground to be as dry as it can be. Of course, you need to water your figs no matter what when they really need it, even during the harvest. But if you can have them in the ground, generally you don't have to water when they're producing, providing there's been adequate moisture previously and sufficient rains. But this little trick, you see, I'm going to plant this cutting that now is a little tree. I'm going to plant it underneath of this persimmons tree. Now, this persimmons tree, as magnificently beautiful as it is, and it is beautiful, unfortunately, I have bad news for this tree. And I feel really bad, because I feel a special kinship with my trees. I honestly do. But I just have too many. You can see how many I have. And they tower over that shed. And they're my persimmons trees, and I have lots of them. And they bear a tremendous amount of fruit. And I don't need any more persimmons trees. I have plenty of persimmons trees. Here's another right here. And Nikita's Gift, which I have featured several times, and I'm a strong advocate, and I've made the most, I guess, powerful recommendations to those who want to try a backyard persimmons tree. This is a blend between the American persimmons, it's a cross, and the Japanese persimmons. And you could watch my videos, we won't go into that, but look how many fruits are on this tree. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fruits. Look at them everywhere. This is a tree. This is a beautiful tree to put in your backyard. And it's very, very winter hardy because it has American persimmons in it. Let's get back to this persimmon. Hey there! Hey there! What are you doing? Keeping me company? Oh, I always love your company. Thank you. Hey, hey, okay. Got a nice little shady spot there under the persimmons tree. Smart dog. But this tree's going to have to come out. And it's got fruit on it too. So I'm sad, but it has to go. And I thought that it would be a better place, since it is a raised bed, for a tree I would like to plant, which is the Celeste tree that I made cuttings from. Made trees from out of cuttings. So I'm going to put the persimmons, the Celeste tree right there in that hole that I've dug. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this tree is going to provide shade during the day. It's going to get enough sun to keep it going. And after it's made the transition and it is healthy again and spreading its roots and showing vigor, I will then, unfortunately, remove this tree. Now I have another alternative to this. I mean, I could cut the lower branches of this tree, this persimmons tree, these lower branches, and just let the upper part grow, and there would be enough space under it that the sun, because of the angle of the sun where I am in this location, would still get to my Celeste tree for years to come. So that's a thought, and I might be tempted to use that method. It's just like if I cut these lower branches on this persimmons, it's not going to affect my strawberries. My strawberries have been growing under here for years, and they do very well. So let's take a walk. I'm going to go around this way. And I'll show you where I'm digging up a Celeste tree. And you might say, well, wait a minute. Wait. You might say, but why Celeste, Lou? Boy, you talk about Celeste a lot. Yeah, I do. And you can see that on No Brain or Figs. That's a video, No Brainer Figs. There's another one, the mighty Shinkatig Celeste. The reason why I made those videos is because I love Celeste. After over 50 years of growing figs, if you like in-ground figs, and if you're in 7A or colder, warmer, you don't usually need to wrap them. You might have to use a light wrap in 7A. No big deal. I have videos on that too that you can watch. But very often you don't have to. Like last year, I didn't wrap my Celeste in 7A, and it's doing magnificently, as it usually does, because Celeste is the most, in my opinion, winter hardy fig there is. Of all the over 100 varieties, way over 100 that I've grown. And I put it up there with Brunswick, and I put it up there with Italian Honey and Desert King and so many more. It's, even the Mount Etna types and Hardy Chicago, more winter hardy than Hardy Chicago, for sure. Celeste is a wonderful, wonderful fig. It's not like I haven't tried other figs, right, everyone? I've tried hundreds, over 100 for sure. So you might say, well, why are you doing it? Well, I'm telling you why. Why am I planting Celeste? Why did I plant a Celeste right here just recently from the same garden I'm going to show you now? From the same cuttings. And I'm digging them up. Here they are. I've given some away. I planted some in other properties, altogether 4 properties. And I'm going to plant another one here on my own property again. And so, hey Deb, maybe I can get you to carry this camera so I can show how I'm going to do it. But I just dug it up from there. I've dug up a bunch of them this spring. And a little bit more on Celeste. It is, yes, the most winter hardy fig I've ever had in my experience. It is closed-eyed. It can take the weather really good. It doesn't crack. It doesn't split. It is a survivor. It is vigorous. It is early. It makes an abundant, prolific crop of figs. I mean, I could just sing the praises of Celeste all day long. It's the most undervalued, I think, even though it's well known. I think by the general fig community, it's the most undervalued fig there is and shouldn't be. And this happens to be a variant that comes from, yes, it comes from Chicotig Island that I discovered many, many years ago. And it's a little different than, you know, ordinary Celeste. I mean, they're essentially the same, but there are different characteristics. And I've gone into this subject many, many times in several videos about genetic drift and genetic pools and genetic and geographic separation and over the hundreds of years of separation by different growers in different countries, etc., etc., etc. But it's all valid. And so we do get these variations, and there are different sports of different trees, and someone might take a branch from a tree and all of a sudden they discover that that particular branch, you know, might have qualities that the father or mother tree didn't quite have. Just a little variations, okay? And this one is one of those variations, for sure. And I particularly love it enormously. So I'm planting a bunch of them all around the place. And I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. And it's a little late in the season, and the sun's high, as I said. We're not too far from the solstice. So I'm going to use this technique where I'm putting it under another tree, and then I'll remove the other tree later, or the bottom branches of it. There we go. Thank you. This. Oh, wow. You want to come along? Come on. Come on, Popsy. This thing's pretty heavy. Okay. That hole might have to be a little bigger. But at least we're getting in a general location here. Yeah, I might have to dig it a little deeper. But I think I've made my point, so I don't have to go on. I'll just reshape that hole a little bit, make it a little bit deeper and a little bigger. And then I'm going to place this tree right in that hole. Now, there's a few other things I'd like to bring up. I'm not going to over fertilize this, but I'm going to give it some essential nutrients, some crushed oyster shells that I absolutely love with all my fig trees. There we go.
Yeah, looks like you have to get more of those.
Yeah, I'm getting low on these now. I'll put them in there. I put a lot of them in there. I'll put the rest of that bag and get some more. But that's not lime, but I will put a little lime. And what I will do is I will sculpture that hole to where it is virtually no larger than this root ball. Okay, let's see if I can get down here. I might be able to get it in there almost right now. And the reason why I'll do that is because you want a tight, you want a tight situation. You don't want loose dirt around planting a new in-ground fig tree, unless you want a lot of rapid growth and a lot of branches and no production of fruit. Fig trees, as you may know by listening to a lot of videos, when their roots are constricted, they produce more fruit. That's true in containers, and it's also true in ground. It's absolutely true. And so I never ever plant my in-ground trees in loose dirt. I just don't. Now someone else may disagree with that. That's fine. For what it's worth, I'm not really interested in debates about things. I don't mind criticism. I don't mind different opinions, but you know, I've been doing this a long time. This is how I like to do it. Other people, hey, they might find their ways are just as successful for them as my ways are for me. And that's fine, that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. That's what the internet is all about, and YouTube, and I love it. Okay, but keep in mind, there's a great deal of misinformation out there. It's stunning to me. It's astonishing to me. I would say almost half of what I see is misdirected and misconceived, erroneous, wrong information. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. So you might be looking at my videos and saying, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe I don't. That's for you to decide. There's room on the internet and on YouTube for everybody's opinion, and that's what makes it good. But you know, our job as fig enthusiasts or growers in general, which I consider myself to be, a grower in general, is to be able to sift through all of it and be able to determine what makes the most logical sense and what does not. Who has the most experience, who doesn't. Experience is always the best teacher. We all should really know that, and that's the truth. Okay? So, motives are something to be taken into consideration as well. Let's see if this tree will fit in this spot. I don't know. Oh, wow. That is lovely. That is lovely. It's perfect. I'm so happy. I won't have to work very much more. All I need to do is put some of this dirt that came out too, because they like where they came from. And I'll water this so that all the air pockets are removed. Okay, we're in good shape here. Okay, it won't take me long. And you'll see that this tree is providing shade already. And it would have provided shade all day. It's the afternoon. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's, I don't know. But it's well afternoon. And in the morning, this would have gotten quite a bit of shade. And there's a little bit of sun shining on part of it right now. But very soon as the sun moves overhead, it will be in total shade. So it will do nicely here. And it will pick up, and I won't have to worry about it failing. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed today. This video is getting a little long, and I better just bring it to a close. I've got a little more work to do, and this job will be done. Good day. Thanks for visiting.